Dear viewers, welcome to this YouTube channel. In this chapter, there will be an more explanation on house elements as follows. More explanation on house elements. Every house has its own element, namely fire, water, air, and earth. They can be further divided into movable, strong, fixed, and mutable, weak. Every planet has its own element internally. Therefore, a planet that is in a house with the same element becomes very strong, while being in a house with another element gives a different result. Examples: the Sun, 1, or Saturn, 7, has fire element. If they are in Aries, movable fire element, they will become very powerful. If they are in Leo, fixed fire element, they will become powerful but not to the extent of the previous case. If they are in Cancer, movable water element, their power will be weakened by almost half, since this is comparable fire falling into water. If they are in air element house, their power will be enhanced, since this is comparable to fire falling into air but not to the extent of fire falling into fire. If they are in earth element, there will be no effect, since this is comparable to fire falling into earth. The house elements are used to further predict the planetary power. Given that it is already in place and all the relations have been considered, the house elements are further included into the consideration, though they do not have much effect on the result of predicting. They are only observations, since they have been used since the ancient times and are considered good enough, even though they are not very explicit. Some schools consider the house elements to be the main core of all topics. Therefore, they will not be any commentary in order to compare the cases. All these things are descriptions of principles and origins which could be hard to understand. The reason not to bring them up at the beginning steps of predicting is because the common principles must be understood first, since they are common principles for all astrology schools. These principles are built on top of the original ones, which requires a higher level of understanding. They are principles that I have summarized from real-life experience that has been verified and supported by people's life data. They are therefore considered correct and accurate. As a result, these conclusions are made for further confirmations endlessly. Explanation of other issues. The principles of predicting according to this method will not use on Kendra, Pindabat, numerology, or any other exceptions. Based on earlier information, they have been found inaccurate and inconclusive, and therefore lead to confusion. Anything that has not been mentioned or said will not be emphasized or used. They are not forgotten, but will not be included in the consideration on purpose. Actually, Thai astrology is a simple and straightforward subject, but is complicated and deep. It involves statistics and information. More importantly, astrologer or fortune teller are not meant to have answers for everything, especially those subjects that are beyond humans' understanding. Things that are still inconclusive and do not have enough evidence will need further data collecting. The study must be continued without ending. When the study has reached this step, the student should return to the earlier steps once again and try to predict her own horoscope. Then the student should see if the understanding of the details has been improved or not. The parts that are still not understood and are still unclear should be noted. From there, the student should study on to the next chapter that will give more details and deeper understanding. They should be continued when the student becomes more prepared. Please stay tuned for the upcoming episodes.